In this video, I'll share what got me into watercolor, the watercolor artists who have inspired me, the materials you'll need, a hack to help you overcome perfectionism and the fear of failure.
I'm scared to death. I'm frightened and I don't know what to do. I'm confused and I want to go home.
And a couple exercises to get you going. Welcome to Watercolor. Maybe you're just starting watercolor or you're looking to improve. Well, my channel is all about helping you learn and master watercolor. I make a new video every week. You'll find watercolor techniques and tips to help you grow and enjoy the process. So this is how I got into watercolor. When I was a kid, an art teacher told me avoid watercolor at all costs because it's only frustrating and you can't control it.
You can't control it.
She was so convincing, I avoided watercolor for most of my life.
I've been avoiding it for 1,000 years.
I worked with acrylics, oil paints, and a whole bunch of dry mediums, but I avoided watercolor. I had absolutely no desire to learn watercolor until I met an artist who said, if you can master watercolor, you can master anything.
Anything? Anything.
The one medium that I have been avoided can help me in all the other mediums.
Challenge accepted.
The idea of if you can master watercolor, you can master anything told me very clearly that I should not expect watercolor to be easy, but I should expect a challenge.
I challenge you, sucker.
So when my paintings didn't turn out the way I wanted, I wasn't surprised. I learned from them and kept pushing. In the process of learning how watercolor works, I learned to love them.
I love them enough to tell them the truth.
Watercolor is so easy to clean up, and you can take them wherever you're inspired to paint. And there are some watercolor techniques that almost make the paintings for you. I'll share those techniques on this channel. There are so many watercolor artists who have inspired me, I'm just going to mention a few. Lagutina's landscapes and ability to create believable clouds is remarkable. Terry Duvall is a master at watercolor realism. Hannah Pickerel is like the Bob Ross of watercolors. Her tutorials are amazing. Richard Thorne is the master at using masking fluid and vivid colors. Rukie's ability to capture realistic lighting is phenomenal. Lana paints so realistically that her art can be mistaken for a photo. Alba, Marcos, Chris, Carlos, all of them are incredible. Here's the materials you'll need. To get started, you'll need these 7 items. And you probably already have the first 2 items. A water container, something that won't tip over while you're using it. I bought these from Hobby Lobby. A hand towel.
That's my hand towel!
A pencil. I prefer the 2H lead because it's light enough that you can see your sketch for the first layer or 2 while painting, but then it disappears. You can use a regular pencil, but remember to sketch lightly. Watercolor paint. I suggest starting with student grade watercolor and then work your way up to the professional grade. I listed some brands I enjoy in the description. If you're not painting directly from watercolor sets, you'll need a palette. Usually they are made from plastic or ceramic. Watercolor brushes. Get some small and medium-sized synthetic round brushes. These will help you with your painting and detailing. And some medium and large flat synthetic brushes for washes and covering large areas. Watercolor paper. The B brand of watercolor paper from Walmart is great for practice. I painted this dolphin using this brand of paper. Once you are ready to make a masterpiece, upgrade to the 100% cotton cold press watercolor paper. Trust me, it is worth it. These are currently my favorite brands. The quality of paper, paint, and brushes make a big difference in how much you enjoy the process. Later, when you're looking to upgrade your watercolor game, add masking fluid and a tube of M-gram titanium white opaque watercolor to your supplies. I've struggled with perfectionism and the fear of failure, and I found this hack to really help. The next time perfectionism tries to stop you from even starting your next painting, tell yourself, I'm just practicing.
No, I'm just practicing.
When we know that we are just practicing, we give ourselves more grace. We don't expect to be perfect. We expect mistakes. While practicing, we know that that's when we are going to discover what works to get the results we want. So there's no need to fear your next painting. It's just practice.
Just practicing.
Speaking of practice, it's time to practice. Here are some exercises to help you get going. Let's paint this. Use a dark gray or black watercolor. You can use a business card to make a border. The watercolor paper I'm using is the B brand from Walmart. I put the horizon line about 1/3 down from the top. Next, make a sideways Z. Make the tip of the Z touch the horizon line and then get wider as it comes down to the bottom of the paper. Use a small synthetic round brush. Paint the sky the lightest shade of color. Then progressively add more paint to your brush as you work your way down the paper, adding mountains and trees. This exercise is all about learning to control the paint to water ratio in your brush. Let's paint this next. We'll add to the dark gray, yellow, orange, and rose red. Start painting the bottom third yellow. Then add orange and let a little of the orange overlap the yellow so they start to blend. Next, add the red rose color and let a little bit of the red rose overlap the orange to start to blend. This exercise is all about learning to blend colors and letting the first layer dry. After the first layer is dry, use a dark gray or black watercolor to put in some palm trees. Start putting in long trunks. Then add an M to start making 7 to 8 branches. Next, fill out those branches you made with palm leaves. For the last exercise, put lines indicating where the trees will go. This exercise introduces us to the wet on wet technique. First, wet the page with clean water. Then add a splash of sky blue. Randomly put the blue watercolor down until about half the sky is blue and half the sky is white, representing the clouds. Use yellow for the first layer of trees. Then add blue, which will mix in with the yellow, making the trees green. As you put in the trunks, remember to make the bottom of the trunk thicker than the top. When you're ready for another tutorial, check out this step-by-step pear and apple tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like the ones that just popped up on your screen. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you can master watercolor, you can master anything.